One more time, Orlando Magic Nation, stand up. Just stand up for your boy, man. Shit. Boy, I tell you.
Pins and needles.
We're going to get into it, but first, we back, episode 92, I think?
92
of the Welcome to Forever podcast. As always, it is your boy, Orlando Magic's number one fan, the bad guy, P-Man.
It's your boy, the Walking Holiday He-Man.
And all I want to say is Jeff Wellman, John Hammond, number one, thank you. And number two, clearly they listen to your boy. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. They listen to me.
You caught that shot well in advance. From who they should pick to how they were going to do the process. Be very secretive. They play it close to the vest. But that also caused that anxiety and tension before the build-up, before it was already known what that was going to do.
Oh, man, like... just... Talk about giving me a fucking heart attack, man. Like... because we're just so fucking secretive, and then you got all of these fucking shits, and just all of these different articles, all these different stories, all these different owners and their speculations and shit. Right. But
so what you're saying is Orlando they the perfect sneaky link, huh? They the perfect.
Oh yeah, you ain't finding nothing out with them. Matter of fact, they gonna lead you in a whole nother different direction. Shit.
So they the perfect sneaky link.
I tell you, man, they fucking. Well, we got my guy.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Paolo Banchero going to make a whole bunch of people eat their words.
Okay. Because what are they saying about him?
A lot of them see him as, see his ceiling as maybe a multiple-time all-star. Okay. But not a franchise cornerstone.
Got you.
He's going to make you eat your words. I'm going to let you know that shit right now.
Say just like that.
And I mean, you know, I get it ratings wise when you see this man all over fucking ESPN at First Take and SportsCenter and all this shit. But people need to stop letting Kendrick Perkins be on TV.
Bruh. That man.
First of all, he got to learn how to talk. The motherfucker talk worse than Charles Barkley.
Bro, because he just be up there. I guess because he throw the hot takes out, it catches people's ears to the point to where they're openly want to just put him out there. He catches people's attention. Even though it may be the wrong type of attention a lot of times with the takes that he have, people tune in.
Like, some of the shit is valid. I get it. Like, he compared Chet Holmgren he compared him to two guys. First one, I completely get. Compared him to Porzingis. It was like, I could see that. Bulk up a little bit, I could see that. Other person he compared him to was Giannis. I was like, what?
Not bringing up the ball up court or something. Yeah. Not,
all this, I'm like, what? Here's the issue I have with takes like that. Giannis, when he first came in the league, yeah, he was skinny as shit, but he had a frame that looked like he could put on weight.
Right.
You know, they said Chet Holmgren has put on 12 pounds over the last 2 years.
What?
He don't have the frame of a guy that could hold up, you know. If he is legitimately 190, 195 pounds like they say, he don't have the frame of a guy that could put on 40, 50 pounds.
No, because if he was to do that, that would cause more injuries. His body would not be able to adjust to that amount of weight, that height, that frame. It would not be good.
No. And so I'm just like, y'all can miss me with that. And Jay Billis, damn it, I love you. But him, among other people, they got to stop with these Kevin Durant comparisons, because they have now compared Chet and Jabari Smith Jr. to Kevin Durant. I was like, y'all have to stop. Kevin Durant is arguably the greatest scorer in NBA history.
Right.
You can make a case that he might just be the greatest scorer as far as someone his height scoring in the ways that he scores.
Right.
He arguably could be the greatest scorer of all time by the time it's all said and done. And y'all are comparing 19-year-old Jabari Smith Jr., just because he is 6'10" and he can shoot over people, you're going to compare him to Kevin Durant? You're going to compare Chet Holmgren, who is already 20 years old, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. Already 20 years old.
Right.
And he hasn't really shown that self to create shots for himself off the dribble, things like that. He hasn't really shown that much of an ability to do that either.
Right.
And y'all got to stop caring. Just stop.
He's like, just quit it. Just quit it.
But I don't want to stay on this too long because I get, the females, they start drying up with me on sports. But all you Houston Rockets fans,
they just knew.
I don't blame you for falling victim to the smokescreen Orlando threw out there.
No.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'll even say this about Jabari Smith Jr. too, who was visibly disappointed he did not go number one.
Which means he fell for the okie doke too.
And then he was even more disappointed when he did not go number two, because the whole time, you ask him, you ask his daddy, they was interviewing all of them, they all sitting there saying, "Oh, my boy going number one, I'm going number one." Orlando never promised you any such thing.
Right.
They worked you out. Fine. I get that.
Right.
They worked you out. Because apparently whenever Chet Holmgren came to visit, they sat down and met with him, but he didn't actually work out, apparently.
Just had a conversation with him.
Yep. I'm sorry you fell for the okie doke, but
say shouldn't have done it.
But you know what gets me about Houston Rockets fans, that gets me, is when the consensus was that Smith was going to go 1, Holmgren 2, and Banchero was going to fall to them at 3, all of them were hype.
Right.
But since we took Banchero number 1, now guess what they saying? Oh, Banchero trash. Fuck him. We got the best player in the draft. I'm like, you just like that nigga that fucking holler at a girl and she turn you down, and then, oh, you ugly hoe.
Yeah.
Then nobody wants you no way.
Exactly.
It's fuck off the gas. Y'all sensitive. Y'all in y'all feelings. Y'all fell for this fucking smoke screen. That was not us, by the way, because we didn't leak anything.
Right.
Y'all fell for the okie doke of Jabari Smith coming in there, being the only one out of the top 3 to actually work out with us.
Right.
And then y'all fell for all the speculation from all these other owners that put it out there, and all these other reporters that put it out there that that's who they believe Orlando's going to draft. It's not our fault y'all fell for this shit.
Exactly.
That's on y'all shit. And so now that we got y'all now all of a sudden he trash. Okay, we're going to see.
Keep that in mind.
We'll see.
Like you say, going to make them eat them words.
Damn Skippy. So, Paolo, I'm rocking. I'm with you right here. We about to get it in. Man. Oh, yeah, buddy. I guess before we get into other pressing matters, kind of sticking on sports a little bit.
All right.
Kyrie Irving done lost his rabbit-ass mind.
I've been hearing, because as you know, I'm more football than basketball.
Yep. And
I'm hearing that he possibly had the opportunity to be a free agent, but he also signed a trade, or Brooklyn finna blow it up. I don't know, but Kyrie has been in the news as of late. What the hell did he specifically do?
Well, this upcoming season, he has a player option.
Okay.
For this season. If he opts in, he could opt in for 1 year at about $36 million.
Okay.
Fine. This loony motherfucker wanted a 5-year maximum contract extension from Brooklyn. The same guy that has only played in about a third of the games he could have played in the last 3 years.
Yeah, he missed more games than he played, right? No.
The mask mandate shit, I get it. That shit for New York, it was bullshit. But just like maybe almost everybody on Brooklyn and everybody on Knicks, they may not have liked it either, but they sucked it up and got the vaccine so they could play because they got a job to do.
Right.
He chose to fucking sit out, not want to get the vaccine. All right, fine, fuck it. When the riots happened at the Capitol, he had just started playing.
Okay.
And then it took 2 weeks off because the riots, quote unquote, messed him up mentally. So now he's just like a social advocate all of a sudden. So that's more games he missed on top of the vaccine shit.
Right.
I'm just like, Kyrie, you done lost your rabbit ass mind.
So what I heard you saying is that you want him in Orlando.
Hell to the no. Hell to the no.
You want him to be a Magic.
Hell no. I mean, let's start with the obvious. If he's actually going to play, yeah. Well, I'd be 100% if they offer him a max.
Right.
What guarantees that I have that he's even going to do that? What guarantees I got he won't just take the money and sit his monkey ass out? Shit. Like he been doing.
That is very true.
And the worst part about all of this is he's got Brooklyn right where he wants them.
Yeah, he got them between the barrel, rock and hard spot.
I'm trying to tell you. Bent over with their pants around their ankles.
No lube.
None whatsoever. And why? Because he has the ultimate leverage. All he's got to do is sit down and say, I'll opt in. Y'all extend my contract 5 years for a max, and I'm here.
Right.
If not, I'll leave.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Durant's only here because of me.
Right.
If I leave,
he gonna leave.
He's gonna request a trade.
Right.
Then what you gonna do? So, what do you want to do? You want to lose both of us, or you want to just give me my extension and we can go try to win a chip?
If I'm Brooklyn, I'll be tempted to just blow that shit up. I'll be like, just give me all the picks. What can you provide me? Because what do we always say? Your biggest ability is availability.
Mm-hmm.
At least, and to be honest, while they're both great, they still be hurt. So now Kevin Durant still, when he plays, he plays.
Mm-hmm.
He's that dude. But Kyrie, like you said, you done missed damn near so much time. We done got accustomed to playing without you being here. I'll be like, all right, I'll max you out, then I'm going to trade you to get what I can get for you. I'll be like, we can do that. I'll extend you. But I'm going to trade you.
And, initially I was thinking that he would just opt in.
Right.
Because Brooklyn literally is the best situation for him.
Right.
I was thinking that, they'll do the song and dance because, at first Brooklyn was like, well, we're open to you going out and testing the water, seeing what your free agency options are.
Okay.
No team is going to fucking offer him a fucking max contract.
No. Well, you might have one. There's always one that would be willing to.
True.
That would be a crash dummy.
But it's not going to be somewhere he wants to go.
That is true.
It wouldn't be anywhere he wants to go. It would be one of these bottom feeder teams that got no shot at the playoffs, that are maybe looking to just try to sell some tickets, whatever. None of these other teams are going to give him a max contract. Now they started throwing the whole thing out of trading him straight up for Westbrook. Why the fuck would Brooklyn do that? Kevin Durant's already made it public knowledge. He does not want to play with Russell Westbrook anymore. Why the fuck would you do that if you're Brooklyn? Then on top of that, you got to throw in another piece because Russell Westbrook's contract is worth like 46, 47 mil.
Okay.
For them to do that, it'd have to be a sign-in trade. So Kyrie would have to opt in for his 36 mil, but you're still about 10, 11 mil short. You got to throw another piece in just to make that work. They're not going to fucking do that.
The team that I could see, and they mentioned this over the radio, that would do something like that, that has team you have to look out for, say, for instance, somebody like OKC. Because they have so much draft collateral, so much things that they could throw and be like.
And I don't even know why they would want to do that.
I understand.
For the same reason why there was a rumor that Jordan wanted to bring Russell Westbrook to Charlotte. Not because he just really wanted him there.
Right.
But he wants to get off of Gordon Hayward's contract and somebody else's because they're still locked in for 2 more years. Whereas Westbrook, this is a contract year. He's wanting to get off of those 2 contracts.
Okay.
And bring Westbrook in for 1 year. And then after this upcoming season, that would open up 46, 47 mil in salary cap.
Right.
So I get that, but you got to think about the long-term ramifications. This is why Jordan is one, as great as he was on the court. This is why he's one of the worst fucking owners ever. Why, even if just for a year, would you want to do that to LaMelo?
That is true.
He's already in a small market team. You want to make the situation even worse when they have a promising young core. They just brought in Mark Williams.
Right.
And you want to potentially mess that up by bringing Westbrook in, who is one of those players that is going to play his way.
Right. Wouldn't be smart.
Like,
just
I wouldn't do it if I was Jordan, but
Makes you wonder.
I rarely ever agree with Skip Bayless, but even Skip Bayless called him the worst owner in He didn't call him the worst owner in basketball. He called him the worst owner in sports.
Damn.
Shit.
That's rough there.
So
that says a lot.
I don't know. Before we get off of this, if I really don't even know how it will work, because again, they would have to move Westbrook, and Westbrook is the same situation as Kyrie, $46 million.
Right.
Who's wanting to give up that many assets to cover that big of a contract?
Right.
If Kyrie Irving somehow musters up the strength to essentially give up $30 million of this by not opting in,
right,
this contract, he would give up $30 million to sign with the Lakers, because all they can offer him right now with their roster is currently constructed,
right,
they can only offer him a mid-level exception, $6 million. If he opts in with Brooklyn, it's $36 million guaranteed.
Right off the rip.
You willing to throw away 30? You already threw away $17 million when you
can't do that.
When for this mask mandate shit, you not want to get the vaccine. You willing to throw away another $30 million? And
if you LA, do you really want 2 out of your 3 top players that really don't play? And I mean Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis ain't played in quite some time, and then you tackle that with Kyrie.
And when Anthony Davis do play, the motherfucker get a hangnail and be out 2 months.
There you go.
So
there you go. Is it worth it?
I don't think so, but we will keep tabs on this this whole situation as it goes on, because this is, we're in the off season now, so this is literally becoming the biggest news. And now you've got Kevin Durant. He's playing it pretty close to the chest. He's not really saying much, which should worry Brooklyn, because if for nothing else, you would try to do everything you could,
right,
to keep Durant.
Have to,
if you can. Like, if Kyrie's playing hardball like this, I'll be like, all right, you know what? I'll get back to you later. I will go right to Kevin Durant. I'm like, look, this is what Kyrie's trying to do. What would you like? What are your thoughts on what we can do for you to try to keep you to stay and try to fix this situation? Because he's pulling this shit. That's what the fuck I would do. But
man,
we'll see. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I'm looking at my notes. I had a fucking huge, just brain fart. But
it happens.
So did you hear about the situation that happened? I think it was back in April at a Dallas Mavericks game.
Is that with who was it? Touching somebody's? Was that with Chris Paul?
Oh no!
No, what happened?
It's even bigger.
Talking about the girl that got kidnapped?
Yeah.
Yes, I did hear about that shit, that trafficking and all of that. I'm just trying to figure out, y'all ain't got cameras, y'all ain't got shit that's...
The whole situation is crazy. For anybody that is not privy to this situation, I think it was a game back in April at American Airlines Arena in Dallas. A dad was there with his, I think she was about 14, 15-year-old daughter.
Right.
She goes to the bathroom. And, after a while, he notices she's gone for quite some time.
Right.
And nowhere to be found. Like, he's alerted security. And then there was some kind of miscommunication because they weren't from Dallas. So security at American Airlines Center were telling them they need to report it to the police department where they live at. Right. Which is just fucking asinine to me because shit happened here.
Yes.
Like, and then nobody asked for a picture of what she looked like or anything. And then, like, some hours had passed. They finally looked at the security camera footage and saw her leaving with somebody. They couldn't tell who. Right. And long story less long, they ended up finding her like a week later in a hotel. Right. She had been sold and sexually assaulted and all of this. Just a crazy fucking story, man.
Man, all the way around. Because I think they had to rely on like a nonprofit that investigate and try to help out in those matters.
And somebody recognized her picture on something, and then they tracked down the hotel where she was at or something like that.
Yeah. But imagine, man, that's scary for any parent. You know, you can't tell me that doesn't make you want to hold on to your kids, your daughters, your sons that much closer, because a small thing, because she was a teenager, you know, she was able to make decisions for us. Go to the restroom. You feel like, okay, going to the restroom, no, we're set, just come on back. Cool. Things that happen at every game around the world on a regular basis. And to know that something like that happens, and you know 9 times out of 10 they threaten her, probably not even her. Hey, if you don't come with us, we'll hurt your family. Or something to make her go voluntarily in that nature. Don't say a word, or if you do, A, B, and C. So, all the way around, it's tough, man. Yeah. Because that's scary, because, and it's a feel-good story, I think, because she did get found. She was able to be discovered, but, man, think about the ones that's not. The ones that get caught up, who during that day when they got dressed, spent time with their family, feel like this could not happen to me. And lo and behold, it does. And as a parent, you don't think, you read about it, you see it, social media. No, that can't happen to my daughter. We got, everything's good. I'm going to protect them. I'm always around them. And for something like that to happen, man, that's no bueno.
Yeah, it just...
No bueno.
And then it's like, yeah, she may have been one of the lucky ones that got found, but then you got to think about the psychological damage, something like that. Like, we don't know mentally.
Look,
you know, from what I've heard, she's recovering and doing better, but she's still at a young age. She probably at 14, 15 hasn't even processed what truly happened yet
at all.
And like, people don't understand like the psychological, you know, shit
damage
that's
that
gonna
goes
happen.
The PTSD, the sleepless nights, the anxiety attacks, the panic attack, things of that nature that has the possibility. I mean, she'll never see a sporting event the same ever. Like, no matter how hard she tries to fight that, 9 times out of 10, even if she processes it and go through, there's still going to be some type of residue due to the fact of what happened, the location, the environment, and the things she's experienced. So,
and then, I mean, to be around that age, you got to think it's quite possible that she has shown an interest in boys. Maybe, possibly, has already started dating. That's going to have an effect on, you know, how close she lets men get to her in the future. You know, she may not, you know, feel comfortable even wanting a man to even touch her in any kind of way, even if it's just a friendly hug. Like, that kind of stuff is the kind of stuff you got to think about with these situations. Like, it's just tough.
It is.
And like you said, she's one of the lucky ones. You know, as fucked up as that may seem, she was kidnapped, sold, sexually assaulted, was found, and she's one of the lucky ones. That's the craziest part about it.
Exactly.
Like,
and because you, as a parent, most likely, like I say, I like to reiterate, I don't have kids. I'm a professional uncle. You're happy that you got your daughter back, thrilled, ecstatic, but you know that a piece of who she is going to take some time to get her back fully. It might not even be fully, but to get her close to the point to where she was at is going to take time, effort, because nobody comes from something like that and be the same. You know, that's to be expected. That's normal, but I really do hate that she had to go through that, man. Wholeheartedly. Nobody should have to.
And then also, I think something that I don't think a lot of people will address, but I think something that also needs to be mentioned as well, how the dad felt. Because, again, we don't have kids.
Right.
But if I had kids, specifically if I had a daughter,
bro,
as a man, I don't think I've ever talked to a man that has a daughter that is actually in their child's life, that's not ready to die to protect his little girl.
No doubt.
And in that moment, I can imagine he may have even felt like a failure in that situation, because his daughter was kidnapped, sexually assaulted, hurt, physically, mentally.
All of that.
And there was nothing he could do about it. That helpless feeling, I guess.
No doubt.
And
then you take into consideration their marriage. You know, whether it's right or wrong, any parent is going to feel some sort of resentment. How did you let this happen? Where were you? Why didn't you protect her? What were you doing? How? All of these things, and most likely he's asking these things of himself, but to have that coming from a spouse as well, you can't tell me that's not going to put a strain on that relationship.
Because we usually see situations like that typically whenever, whatever the circumstances may be, when a child is murdered,
right,
or lost.
Right.
Typically, couples they typically don't come together,
right,
in those situations for whatever reason, because they're just looking for some kind of rhyme or reason to try to figure out why this happened. They start blaming each other,
right.
And, that causes a lot of divorces whenever a child is lost. That causes so many divorces. It's like you said, it could be, not saying that situation. I'm not, basing this off of anything.
Right.
Just, things I've, have seen, through the news or whatever in the past. It's quite possible his wife may or may not have blamed him for that. Like,
right.
How did you let this happen? She was with you.
Right.
And we almost never saw her again. How did you
No doubt.
It's rough.
It's all the way rough. You can't tell me that it's not, and that'll impact any and everybody involved, family and all.
Yeah, it's so. Just all in all, I'm hoping for they find some kind of healing during this time.
No doubt.
And they find a way to let this at least bring them closer together, because a situation like that, especially their daughter, is going to need a huge support system.
Very much so.
Something like that at 14, 15 years old.
Man, that's going to take a lot of therapy, patience, love, understanding, communication. Like you say, more support than finger pointing. That is what is going to be needed in this type of scenario. And hopefully, which I'm assuming, considering the lengths that they took to get her, I think they'll be more than happy to provide that for her. So, no, that, like I say, is the perfect ending would be that it never happened.
Yep.
But the fact that they got her back, I feel like is a great step in the right direction. That's because it could have been a lot worse, and I'm just thankful that it wasn't.
And I'm not trying to make light of the situation or anything like that. And I'm not saying that he didn't even do this, because maybe he did. I would have went full Liam Neeson and taken on some shit like that.
Man, look at her. Everybody is going to get this work. It's not open for discussion. That's just where we finna go with this.
Like, I literally would have burned the city of Dallas to the ground over some shit like that.
I'm putting bounties on people's head. I'm finna do whatever it fucking takes to find out where my child is at. Getting arrested, be damn, I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. And no, because you only get one.
Mm-hmm.
That one. Sure, you have other kids, but that is the one. Every child is, just like every person is unique, every child is unique. It's one of a kind. It's different. So, no. I'm right there with you. Finna burn it to the motherfucking ground.
And their security up there, and this is the last thing before I get off of this, because I'm almost getting a little pissed off thinking about it, but their security needs to really, they really need their ass whooped. Didn't ask for pictures, sitting there talking about, oh, well, y'all aren't from here. I think they were from Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. And they were like, oh, well, you need to report it to whatever city in Oklahoma you're from, because that's where you're from. I'm like, motherfucker, it happened here.
Exactly.
Why the fuck would I report it 5 hours away when it happened here? What sense does that make? It happened in your building.
I'm assuming they're afraid of liability, or, fun fact, they just don't know what the fuck they doing.
Tripping.
That is not the way it's supposed to go down.
They'd have been the first asses I whooped.
Yep. Right off the rip. You finna see these hands.
Mm-hmm.
Since you didn't see who took it at that time and do anything, you finna get these paws.
Yep. Sure. Well, last thing I got before we get off of sports. Rest in peace to Caleb Swanigan.
Mm-hmm.
Played at Purdue.
Okay.
Was drafted to the Trailblazers. Played for Portland about 3 years. I don't know any details of him passing away, but I know like a year ago it seemed like he was going through some things because he wasn't playing anymore. Like, last time anybody has really seen him, he had put on a lot of weight. Yeah. Didn't look like he was healthy physically or mentally. Right. So not really sure what the details are yet, but it's definitely tough. Cause I remember him at Purdue. He was cold.
Was he?
Cold at Purdue, and he carved out a nice little role for himself on that Portland team. off the bench, and it's
tough.
It's tough.
Mental health is real, man. I mean, mental illness, and you never know what another person's challenges and struggles look like.
Yep.
You just don't, and how it impacts them. Because a lot of times, sure, we talk about Kyrie, we talk about some of these guys and some of the things that they're experiencing, but at the same time, some guys are going through some things, because a lot of people on the outside looking in may feel like they got it all. They got the spotlight, the fame, the height, the women, the money, all of these things, but are they truly happy? Are they truly getting what they need emotionally in order to thrive as a happy, healthy human being? And because you're right, because I think I seen it on Twitter where Damian Lillard clicked on somebody. Mm-hmm. They made something about it. He just went in on because you're like, you don't know what that man was going through, and that's the truth. So he was a young man. So you hear about this stuff. Life had a whole life ahead of him. So no doubt, anytime you hear somebody that loses their life and going through it, it's always painful. It's always tough.
It's almost like I think about it like the movie The Fan. I know some of you motherfuckers.
Damn good
y'all
movie.
Just started coming outside, so y'all don't know about that. But it's Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro.
Uh-huh.
Wesley Snipes is professional baseball player baseball player for the Giants.
Right.
And he went through his hitting slump. And he finally started hitting, and Robert De Niro was the ultimate fan. He asked me, he was like, "What do you think got you out of this slump?" He was like, "I just stopped caring." Mm-hmm. It's like, I just stopped caring. Because
right.
At the end of the day, we're not curing cancer. We're just playing a game. We're just playing a game.
Right.
Yeah. He was like, so I stopped caring and I started hitting. And it's like, they're playing a game. Right. I get it. Anybody that, play basketball, football, baseball, whatever, they devote their entire lives to it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it is just a game.
That's it.
So, like, when you got people that look at them like these larger-than-life athletes that, like you said, they got it all, mm-hmm. I'm like, they're playing a game. That's it. Don't know. They're humans just like us.
That's it.
You don't know what they're going through outside of all of that stuff. First of all, because, all of the stress mm-hmm. of, especially if you're in one of these serious sports cities, maybe like a Philadelphia
right.
or Boston, somewhere like that where it's hardcore, die-hard fans that, the minute you have a bad game, they're ready to
on your
kill yourself, all kind of shit.
Social media, your family's social media. Like, they going all the way in.
And so it's like you really just don't know what they're going through. And at the end of the day, they're playing a game and they're just human beings, just right. like us. And so it's like, so when I look at a situation like that, I'm just like, mm-hmm. people need to just really be try to at least be a little bit more understanding and empathetic that they're humans. They go through trials and tribulations. No human being walking this earth is going to go through life without trials and tribulations. So
right.
It's like people need to understand that more.
They're going to have to get down to it.
And so I wrote about him, and it's crazy that all of this happened this week. I didn't know much about Jalen Ferguson. I know you're more of a football fan.
Right.
But
young man, like, I think he was like 26 years old. Still haven't got the details behind that. Baltimore, their organization is very caring, very understanding, very supportive. So it threw me for a loop that I heard that he passed away as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is all this week. It's crazy.
Exactly. So don't know the details, don't know what happened. So can't really speculate much on it, but didn't hear anything bad about him. Worked hard. Think he was gearing up for a more prominent role in the defense this year. Not all the way fully, but working towards it. It seemed like this year has been a record number of difficulties with athletes either passing away or getting into some type of trouble, whether it is accidents, like, say, for instance, Dwayne Haskins, with him, Henry Ruggs, who was driving, got drunk, hit a car, he lived, but the other person did. I mean, it just seems like this has been an all-star year for athletes experiencing difficulties, whether mentally, emotionally, and it's just sad, man.
Man, and then you mentioned Baltimore Ravens, just mm-hmm. tough week all around, because then turn around, Tony Siragusa passed. He's still young. I think he was
59, 58, 59. I mean, he's still I don't feel like you're old till you're 80 or 90, somewhere around there. So to hear that, who was a prominent figure, whether it is through not just his play, his personality, but also through commentary, they've been hit on all fronts. So it definitely sucks all the way around. So football players, basketball, well, athletes in general, they're people too. Like you say, it's just a game.
For real. Because like people was ready to revolt when Naomi Osaka backed out.
Yeah.
I'm like, again, same situation.
She worried about
young lady.
Yes.
Already ridiculously great at this young age. Goes through things just like us. We don't know what. That's the shit that bugs me about that. Y'all gotta fucking get off of this shit.
Have to. Just because you don't have a life, you could disagree with it. That's fine, but leave it at that. You don't know what another person is going through. Point blank. Period. At all. And if they are taking away that amount of time to heal themselves, and they have a legit reason, they have, because she has been open about how this impacts her, what that does to her. And provided examples how you got to respect that. You don't have no choice. Like I say, because I don't really know Kyrie whole situation like that. I don't know if he just set out to prove a point or what that is. But if it's legit, it's legit. But you do have athletes, and I'm glad that it's more prominent that they are speaking out on mental health issues, what that's like to experience depression. Hell, you got average people who could barely handle one fuck up amongst friends and be embarrassed and already feel down, depressed, anxious, stressed out. Now imagine somebody who sees them fall short or something come up on a national stage with all these eyes, opinions, negativity at one time. And again, that's not even including your family, your kids, your wife, your husband, your daughters, your son, mothers. They're attacking them on social media, coming up, run up on them. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Shit just... Oh, you motherfuckers just gotta... I don't know. Y'all gotta do something.
Do better.
Do better.
Yeah. Let's just start there. Do fucking better. And let's go from there.
Last thing on sports before we get in there. I know I said that was last. I didn't say that about 4 times already. But last thing on sports. Shout out and congratulations to Malika Andrews being the first woman to...
Yes.
Specifically a woman of color to host the NBA draft. Shout out to her. It was on the 50th anniversary of Title IX.
Yes. They got a documentary, I think, too.
Yeah.
Have to check that out because that's interesting. Yeah. I find that, and fellas, we need to do more to promote that. We need to do more to say that women should have a have a bigger seat at the table with all things, not just sports, but all things.
And also check out the documentary on the Women's USA team documentary. That was a catalyst and extremely instrumental in starting the WNBA. When you add, Dawn Staley and all of them on that team to kind of spearhead that. Like the WNBA doesn't happen without that team. So definitely check out that documentary as well. But it's crazy to me that this happens yesterday with Malika Andrews making history as not only a woman but the first woman of color. And then today we get Roe v. Wade.
Exactly.
Like,
bruh. No man should have the right to a woman to tell. No man should have the right to tell a woman what she has to do with her body.
If you have a dick, shut the fuck up about this.
Period. It's not hard. It's really not that complicated.
This does not concern us.
Because I guarantee you, if they say, you know what, we're going to take away Viagra, or they say, you know what, we're going to give men birth control pills, they will get up in arms. They will feel some type of way. So why do we have to course correct a woman's body? She got that shit under control. I promise you. She knows her body. She knows what works for her. She knows what doesn't work for her. So we need to just step out the fucking way. That is the biggest thing.
And then I saw on Twitter a young lady posted a question that was extremely profound that people haven't thought about. They said, how do they regulate the difference between if a woman has a miscarriage versus an abortion? So now she's got to basically, she can't even just, suffer a miscarriage and then suffer in silence. Now she has to essentially prove that it wasn't intentional. You know what I mean? Like, that's the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
Exactly.
Like, if you have a dick, shut up.
That's
please.
That's the gist of you. This should not be at the table. Should not even be discussed. And the thing that get me is you got people that's making these decisions who probably ain't seen their dick, use their dick, had their pussy hit, and so damn long it doesn't make sense. So that is my no. It should be a personal choice. And you got all these old people who, this has always been my thing. If you disagree with abortion, you can feel that way. But those are your feelings. You need to hold that shit. That is yours. You don't inflict that on anybody else, because when we pass, only that person stands before God. Mm-hmm. That is it. That person. If you disagree with what they do, I'll put it to you like this. If you don't like the fact that a person got tattoos and piercings, do you try and get tattoos and piercings fucking outlawed, make them illegal? No. That's your fucking belief. You hold on to that and you keep it fucking moving. Same way with a woman's body. You disagree that she should have abortion? Disagree. Cry on your pillow. Whatever the fuck you need to do. But leave them the fuck alone. Like the saying goes. Women's rights are human rights. It's not that hard.
It's really not. Because by their logic, it's like if a woman was to get raped at gunpoint and she gets pregnant by this rapist, you're gonna force her to carry this baby to term.
Yeah.
So not only she has to deal with the physical aspect of being raped.
Yeah.
She has to go through the physical and emotional changes of her body changing.
Yeah.
And then have to go through the whole mental aspect of carrying a baby to term. It's like it's
just
how are we getting worse as a country? Like,
and the thing is like they took the brakes off this motherfucker as far as going down here.
Like we are literally getting on this elevator and pressing straight down.
That's it.
Like,
it is
not even to the lobby. We going to the
straight base
parking level 3.
Yes,
shit.
That is exactly where we're headed, and it's because the things that get me is that some things should just be flat out common sense. But it's coming to find out that common sense isn't that common.
That's true.
So, no, this shit needs to get fixed quickly. They need to do something about it, and the fact is that whether they mean add more people to the Supreme Court or find a way,
or
whatever,
get some of these old motherfuckers out of there. You got old motherfuckers like fucking Clarence
Thomas,
coon ass.
He needs to go.
Wasn't he born in like fucking 48, 49, some shit like that? And these are the people that are making decisions,
bro. That's the reason why I don't agree with those life-term sentences, because society, life changes. But you got people that are unwilling to. I get if you're rooted in a foundation. I understand that because that's who we are. But it feels like that is more, they're looking at it from their own personal beliefs as opposed to what's best for the greater good. Whether that is they're being bought off, whether that is their own personal things. Get that. I can have certain personal beliefs, but at the end of the day, I'm going to look at it from the standpoint of, okay, that's how I feel, but these are my feelings. How does that impact everybody else? And the sad thing about it is, they probably look at it that way and just don't care. Just don't give a fuck.
And it's just ridiculous, man. And we're never gonna take that next step, as a nation, until we can have these conversations where my beliefs may differ from yours.
Right.
But together, collectively, we can come up with something to keep pushing us forward,
right?
Instead of taking 8 steps back because I don't like your viewpoints, you don't like mine, so we're just like, fuck it, we're just not gonna resolve nothing, we're gonna make shit worse,
right? Until
we can have those conversations and say, okay, I like ABC, you're like, well, I like XYZ, fine, let's meet here in the middle and move forward instead of making a unilateral decision,
right?
That doesn't even affect us.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
has no bearing on us at all.
Like,
we could do better.
Like we joke a lot.
Yes.
On this podcast, we talk a lot of shit and we joke a lot. We get our jokes off. I get that, but I sincerely and I deeply mean this when I say, ladies, I'm truly sorry.
Very much so.
For this, because it's unacceptable, man. This shit is.
It's not even right. There's no way around it at all. Period. We could do better, bro.
I'm getting frustrated.
Yeah, because
This shit pisses me off.
Because it's common sense, man. It's common sense. Because the thing is, what people fail to realize is that now you're going to have dumb motherfuckers that will use pregnancy to trap women.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm a nut in. He could be what? He can be an abusive fuck. He could threaten her. He can beat her the fuck up. He could do all of these fucking things to her. But if he put a kid in her, he knows that she can't do anything about it. What you gonna do? Oh, you gonna go get an abortion? Try it. See if I don't report you. See if I don't turn you in. So not only do she got to worry about a kid being in her belly that she possibly don't want because she's attached to this, have to deal with him, can't leave, and the possibility of going to jail for it. Come on, man. Come on.
I'm like, shit.
It's
like you don't know everybody's situation. We've talked about this before.
Right.
Just because somebody's in a relationship and or married, speaking specifically to men,
right?
Just because you put a ring on her finger, no still means no.
Yes,
your wife is not obligated at all to provide you with sex. Just because y'all are married, that is not her duty as a woman. Her vagina is her vagina. It's not yours. No fucking means no, even if you're fucking married.
Yep. And you have to respect that.
It's rape. Either way you look. Motherfuckers, oh no, that's my wife. I can't. No, bullshit.
Look, she has every right to tell you no. And you have every right to respect that. And that's what the fuck you need to start doing. That is when she is not your slave. She is not your property. When you put that ring on, it should mean more than that. She is not an accessory. She's not your property. She's not your slave. If that's the case, go get your sex toy. If you need it that bad, go cheat. Or let her go. But they don't want to do that because they don't want anybody else to have her. But if she says no, like you say, P-Mac, that's still rape. Regardless, that is still the case. Yes, domestic violence, and you bring up a good point because oftentimes domestic violence is brought up in marriages, but being raped by your spouse is very seldom talked about. So, gotta do better. Gotta do better.
And honestly, specifically us as men have to do better because, like, us as men, we really need to start, taking it upon ourselves to protect women at all costs.
Yes.
This world, this is what I subscribe to. Everything that happens in the world,
right?
It cannot happen without women.
Right.
It just can't. Every facet of everything that goes on in the world, it cannot happen without women. Women are the backbone of civilization, right? Essentially. We have got to do better as men to protect women at all costs. It's fucking ridiculous, man.
And ladies, we're not saying that in a sense to where you can't protect yourself. We understand how you are very strong, independent, can handle your business. But extra support doesn't help. If fellas, if you can't support, stay out the way. But we need to protect and be there and be supportive. And what does that look like? Calling out your homeboys and your close friends or relatives that be on that bullshit that think it's okay. Do it publicly. And if you feel like you don't feel like doing it publicly, pull their coattail and talk to them about it privately. But it starts there. We have to be able to correct our own in order to help them in the fight that they're dealing with. Because it is a straight up knockout, drag out fight. Point blank period.
I really hope y'all picking up what we're putting down.
Just like that.
Really hope that. So we mentioned it last week. Should we get into this?
We could do that.
Who texts last or first or next conversation? Whatever the fuck it was. We can get into that. Because that it is.
Just like that. First lady.
Man. I don't know. It's if we're having a conversation, texting back and forth specifically,
right?
And I text you last, or I text you, you don't respond. Cool.
Right.
I'm not about to lose my shit. Life happens. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody busy. You got shit. You got all this shit going on with prices being crazy. Maybe working overtime, doing whatever. I assume you're busy. It's whatever.
Exactly.
But given my current state of where I'm at right now, I may not just be gung ho to just write you back to just to just text you after I ended the conversation, I guess.
Right.
Or I wrote you didn't respond, whatever. I'm not just gonna be so enthusiastic in the moment to continue the conversation right then. I'll wait till you write me or whatever.
Exactly.
That's how I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm in a mode of, I got to keep shit moving. I damn it might be for the streets right now. You know what I mean? Shit. We already talked about this mode I'm in.
Right.
You in the same mode. I was talking with Anna, doing the same shit. Like,
right.
I'm free, man. I'm going to do whatever I want to, man. So it's like I can't be tied down to just, to one certain situation right now. So,
right.
We talking, we chopping it up. I write you back. You don't respond. I'm assuming you got to, watch your kids, or you got work, you're working overtime, something came up. Cool. I ain't doing no tripping.
Right.
But I'm not, don't hit me up and be like, dang, you can't text nobody. Don't do that.
That is when.
Do not do that. But violence will be chosen.
Yes.
Now I got to hurt your feelings. I got to hurt your feelings. Shit.
You are 100%
because you ain't all
right.
that. Shit.
You are 100% right. If you be like, hey, just reaching out, or even start with a different thread of a conversation afterwards. Cool. And sometimes, like we talked about, sometimes it depends on the person and the variables, because like you always mention, and I take it to heart, time is a person's inventory. If I text you and you don't get back with me, I'm assuming, you busy. You got things going on. I'm not finna intrude on that. But depending on the person, if I'm cool with you, we vibing or whatever, and we talking back and forth, and I know, okay, this person's probably tied up, I don't mind shooting you just a different thread, so to speak. What you got planned, what you got going on, so on and so forth. But if I don't fuck with you like that, or and this includes family, friends, anybody. Not this is just
nobody off limits
at all. Period. If I shoot you a text and we ain't really that close, I don't really fuck with you like that, and you don't respond, that conversation is gone in the fucking wind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not finna, hey, what you got going? No, because I refuse to be seen. In my mind, if I got to hit you up twice and I really don't fuck, I'm not finna come off as a bugaboo.
Yeah.
I'm not finna come off as I'm chasing you or I'm being a hindrance to you. I don't do that. Again, this is with any and fucking everybody. But if we cool and you my boy, you my homegirl, family member, brother, yeah, what you got going on? Okay, you probably been tied up. Because one thing that I do, and me and Snake talk about it often, he experienced it too. I will sit up there and type out a whole fucking message and think I hit send and didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go back, oh shit, let me see. And I know people that done that. My bad, I thought I sent that. And it goes by their character, and again, variables of who they are. But that constant, if I send you a text and you don't get back with me, for the most part, I'm not going to hit you back. Even if you get back with me a day or two later, I'm cool with it. I don't take it personal that you don't get back with me. I ain't want to, so I hit you back and you don't go. I don't take it personal because I know you probably got shit to do. Mm-hmm. But just don't expect me to blow you up constantly in regards to hold a conversation with you. Not going to do it.
Because I've done that before where I thought I hit a message. But my biggest thing is because I have an erratic sleep schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I could be upstairs laying down, sleep. Maybe I roll over, try to get comfortable, and I just take a quick glance at my phone. I see a message. I can read it. And then put it right back down.
Yep.
Go back to sleep. And then it could be 6 hours later. I wake up. And then I'm looking through my phone, looking through my messages. I'll be like, oh, shit, they did write me. So then I write back. It'd be something like that. Right. That's typically my biggest thing. Like, I might not respond for, like, few hours or some shit. And that's typically why.
Exactly. But that's to be expected. Because why you feel like that if you do respond, that conversation going to get back started up. And you're going to be like, damn. You ain't trying to have your phone going, zip, zip, zip. Not trying to go back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
That be the reason.
But it ain't never going to be, So why you can't message nobody? It
Not
ain't
doing it.
never gonna be that. I ain't never gonna do that, and I'm not
Right.
gonna tolerate it if you do that because I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna give you that one. You better watch your tone.
Right. Watch where you going with it. That part.
I'm like, shit. You better
This
watch it. I'm gonna hurt your feelings.
Yep.
Shit.
It will happen. Very much so.
Shit. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand on that.
Likewise.
Shit. So we had a question. Basically, and me and you subscribe to the same shit, so I'm pretty sure I already know where you gonna go with this. But it has to do with being with your best friend's ex.
Okay.
And the question,
Gotcha.
I know we've kind of talked about this before, but the question was actually pretty interesting.
Okay.
So I want to get your thoughts on it.
All right.
Let's say, and it probably would never happen because, again, I don't subscribe to this.
Right.
But let's say I'm dating a girl.
Right.
Wasn't like anything just serious, but we dated. It didn't work out. Cool, whatever.
Right.
I come to you like, hey, man, remember such and such I was dating? Shit, it didn't work out. I think y'all might be good together. What do you think?
Right.
You know what I mean? I think y'all might be good together. It might work. If you want to
Give it a
go
go.
ahead, put your boogie down, shit, you can go ahead.
Right.
Me personally, I feel like I don't know that I would, if she was on the other foot, I probably wouldn't.
Right.
Just because let's take me and you.
Right.
Any girl that any girl that you may be, involved with in any scenario, whether
Right.
y'all fucking sneaky links, whatever, y'all
Right.
actually dating in a relationship, that's how I'm always going to view them.
No doubt.
I'm always going to see them as, oh, you was Stalin's girl. You was Stalin's fuck buddy. You was a sneaky link. That's
Right.
how I'm always going to see you, so I can't look at you in that light.
Right.
That's me.
No, I totally concur and I agree with that because it just don't feel right.
Nah.
Because we always talk about how we are. If we get in a relationship, we're going to be interacting with each other as couples. And to have that person, okay, well, this used to be Paul's girl, but now here we are, us three, along with Paul's new girl. What is it? It just don't. So how did y'all meet? Well,
Me and her kind of had a thing.
Man.
It didn't work out. And then she's looking at me like, oh, really? She's like, what kind of freaky shit all y'all into?
Exactly.
So I'm like, nah.
It just
I don't
doesn't.
subscribe to it. But then it's like, I look at the other aspect of this. Ladies, y'all are notorious for that shit. Y'all could be with a dude for all the 6 months to a year and the shit don't work out. And then, after some time, you recommend them to your homegirl and your homegirl might jump all over the shit. Women are notorious for this shit. I don't know how they do this.
Right.
But that's literally more of a case of shit that women do.
Right.
So, ladies, we need answers.
Yes.
I want to know what is y'all's thought process
when this goes on
in doing that,
Right.
Like, because that shit that's foreign to me. I don't subscribe to
I
that shit.
cannot do it. I just don't feel like it's right. Ladies, y'all may subscribe to a different thought process as we talked about, but couldn't do it. But curious to hear a woman's thought and viewpoint on it. What leads them down that yellow brick road for them? But like I say, for us, most likely, like, nah, it just didn't work out.
Because it's like I could never fathom myself doing it. It's like we have extremely similar tastes in women. Like there are some differences.
Right.
Some women I'm attracted to that maybe not that you think they're ugly. They're just
not my
not
type.
your type.
Right.
And vice versa. But there are some women we do have some commonalities in women that we are attracted to.
Right.
And it's just like, yeah, it could be a situation where it's like, damn, she fine as hell. If the situation was different, yeah, I knock it down. But you already hit it, or you already dated, or whatever. That's all you're ever gonna be to me.
It ain't going no further than
You was
that.
fucking with He-Man. Y'all smashing whatever. Y'all dated or whatever. That's how I'm always gonna see you. I can't.
Right. And can't go.
I can't subscribe to that shit. Like
Paul is my boy. You already know. I just can't do it.
like some shit like that. I don't even know if shit like that would happen if I was blackout drunk.
Right. Be like,
But
no.
that would probably be the only scenario shit if I was just blackout drunk.
Right.
And I'm too much of a control freak to get black.
right.
I've never had blackout drunk sex. And I'm talking about that blackout drunk sex to where you don't even remember what happened the night before.
Waking up I've never been so fucked up to where I woke up next to a person that I didn't know. Never.
I'm too much of a control freak for that. No one
Right.
because too much shit could
Go
could
wrong.
happen.
Yes.
You know, with either condoms or whatever, like birth control, whatever. Too much shit could go wrong.
Right.
I'm too much of a control freak for that shit. So as soon as I feel myself getting crazy,
Be like,
like
all right,
I'm getting real loose, I'm like,
I'm
know
done.
me. I gotta shut it down. I'm done.
Done. It's time
I'm
to go.
chug this water and I'm good.
Just like that.
So I've never had blackout drunk sex before because for me personally, sex is always better if you can actually remember.
Yes. Like, get whiskey dick, but you're not finna get black. Never rolled up and be like,
Good
hold
whiskey
on.
dick.
Yes.
Not the whiskey dick where you can't. I've never experienced that where you just couldn't get it up. No.
Cannot, will not do that. Not to where I roll up and be like, who the fuck, how did, what happened? Never not that blackout drunk. Never. Now I've been faded and woke up and be like, oh shit, this where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, and what that happens is where my body is sober enough to where I get to a place where I'm safe and be like, all right, we're do. And then I wake up and be like, oh shit, damn. All right. Where's everything at? I got everything. Cool.
Yeah.
Does it happen often? No. But it has happened. So, but blackout sex, that just don't sound like good sex.
No, it really doesn't. I would rather remember it.
Wholeheartedly.
You know, just like, back in the day, the party is always better when you're not shit faced and you could actually remember some of it as opposed to getting shit faced and you're like, I don't even remember what the fuck happened last night.
Right.
I'd rather remember the shit.
No doubt.
Because last thing I'd want to do is be out somewhere and a chick be like, hey, how are you?
like,
And you're like, oh, who the fuck are you? And how drunk was I?
Exactly. Nah.
I would rather not. I'd never want to have to ask myself, how drunk was I last night?
I can see that, not see it happen, but like, bro, who is this bitch? And then people like, hold on,
And
you
then
don't
let
remember?
it be like a fucking booger wolf or some shit. Dude, like a hot damn me Gila monster look like Skillet's girl. Don't let it be that.
Now, hold on now. If it's one thing that we do for each other, we do look out for each other.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
In that regard,
we did safe trench that night.
Yeah, bro.
You would have never forgave
exactly.
us that night.
Oh, be like, fam, nah, can't let you do that. Look, if you got, because you got friends that'll be like, go ahead, do it, bro. So they can roast you later.
Hell no.
We don't do that. But we're like, nah, come on, bro.
I'm like, if it's absolute worst case scenario and you are just damn determined to get, I'm gonna at least make sure she look good,
right?
To where it's like, I'm like, okay, he might be a little bit pissed that he got shit faced and don't remember the shit,
right?
But at least he gonna wake up and she gonna be fine, as opposed to fucking looking like chick off Death by Temptation,
bro. No,
like. I'll pass. I never want to have to ask myself, how drunk was I? Shit. Like the Hangover, I never want to have to experience anything like that.
No.
Ever. Ever in the history of everdom. I'm too much of a control freak for that.
For that to shake.
Too much, man. I can't do it.
I feel you on that.
Shit. Oh man, hell, that's all I got. My notes.
I think that's a good stopping point, man. That'll work.
Yeah, buddy. I never want to say
shit. He said never done.
I never want to ask myself, how drunk was I? Shit.
Damn right.
Man.
Too damn funny. Damn funny. Shenanigans, bro.
I'm glad I've never been that drunk before.
Not gonna happen. Not doing it. Yeah, that's all I got on that.
Man, hell yeah. I'm just gonna play this one more time.
Go for it. Oh shit!
Yes. In the 2022 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Paolo Banchero.
There you go.
From Duke University.
That's all I needed to play.
That's it.
That's all I needed to play. Shout out Orlando Magic Nation, baby. Shit. We about to get out of here. Episode 92. As always, it is your boy, the bad guy, P-Mac.
Hey, it's your boy, the Walking Holiday He-Man.
Shit, and we're going to get the fuck up out of here. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Later.